everybody. So this week's reading focus is comparing and contrasting. What does that mean, comparing and contrasting? Well, someone is comparing two things, so there have to be two things. They're looking for similarities. Okay, so when we compare, we look for similarities between the two things. When someone is contrasting two things, they're looking for differences. So differences between those two things, contrasting. Let me show you what that looks like with our hand gestures. Okay, so when we compare, this is our hand gesture for it. So we're comparing. So finding the similarities between two things, okay, compare. When we contrast, we're gonna push our hands away, contrast. So do that with me. Compare and contrast. So compare means finding similarities. Contrast means to find the differences between two things. So let's look at something like this. What if we were to compare and contrast? I'm going to use a Venn-gram for this. Actually, I might use a T-chart for this so you can see my words. So what are the similarities? So compare and contrast. And the things we're going to compare and contrast are apples and oranges. Pretty easy, right? Apples and oranges. So what is the similarities between apples and oranges? Well, the similarities is that they are both round, right? Another similarity is that they're both fruit. Good, so that's comparing it, finding the similarities. Now we're going to contrast. We're going to find the differences between apples and oranges. The contrast, so the difference between apples and oranges is that one's red and one's green or yellow, one's orange and one's either red or green, right? So when we contrast, there are different colors. What else is different? Well, the texture, the feeling of them, right, are different. So the feeling, the textures of an apple and an orange are different. So the textures of them. So an apple is more smooth, whereas an orange is more rough. So that is how we compare and contrast two things. So when we're comparing and contrasting, we want to look, and we're doing this with books. So if we're comparing and contrasting two different books, which is what we're going to do today, we want to look at the characters. Are the characters different in the book, or are they the same? The setting, where does it take place? Is the setting the same? Are they in the same country, the same town, same location? And the events, are the events different or are they a little bit different? What's the difference between the events and the story? You might see some words that will show, if they are to compare two things, you'll see words like both, similar, also, as well as. And if they are contrasting, so finding differences, you might see words in the sentences that are like however, different, on the other hand, and but. And there's two models to help us compare and contrast things. So one is a Venn diagram, which is what we're going to do at the end of our activity today, and a T-chart, which is what I just did on my whiteboard. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have you guys watch a video from Eric Kimmel. He's the author of Cactus Soup. So he is going to read the book Cactus Soup to you guys today. And then I'm going to read the book Stone Soup. So we're going to be comparing and contrasting these two books for our activity today. Okay, so first you'll read Cactus Soup with Eric Kimmel, and then you're going to watch my video, Stone Soup.